Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Alyssa. I'm an artist. I live in Perth, Western Australia. We've got autumn at the moment and a few really nice, sunny, beautiful days left, which is unusual. A little bit concerning because we also farm up in the wheat belt, and so we need rain, but it's kind of nice to enjoy the sunny days as well at the same time. I've got so much to share with you today. Mostly it's process videos. So I've got like 3 different artworks that I'm going to show you the process of making. And so it's a good one to, since it's quite a lengthy video, it's a good one, like if you wanted to paint along with me, please feel free. That's like, it's a lovely idea, isn't it? That we can be connected with artwork across the waters and across the internet. And it's a good way to use the internet, let's face it. So anyway, I'm rambling, but the other thing I've got to show you is I'm going to just take you through my personal dream journal, I guess my book of symbols. If you've followed my channel, you know that I'm doing a course in Jungian dream work. It's not a formal course, it's not accredited, but it's led to so many wonderful explorations in my art. So I'm kind of excited to share with you my process of how I work with dreams in my art and the unconscious realms in my art. So a lot of show and tell today, a lot of show and tell. But so this is my dedicated book of dreams and symbols that I'm going to show you through. I've only done like about 2 pages, but it's kind of like I'm funneling down ideas and putting them into this one. And I'm also going to show you the process of creating the front cover, which I was so happy with. It's using acrylic paint and a bit of Neocolor ones, just to sort of create a bit of texture, and so it doesn't lift. But yeah, I was kind of happy with that. That was a very intuitive picture, and I like the colors. But I'm also just going to show you through my ideas folder from as I'm working with dreams and the unconscious. I have a tub where I keep a whole load of drawings that are sort of either unfinished or I don't really know what to do with, and I used them as the cover. So if that makes sense, I just put some masking tape, and it was a good way of using it. So the last little demo I'm going to show you is working on a picture that emerged of a rabbit. Rabbits have been showing up everywhere. Actually, I have to show you. I went to a garage sale last weekend, and there was this calico rabbit. It wasn't painted, but I'll show you. So I've never painted one of these before. So this was just plain calico before, and I've just painted him. And I'm thinking he might need to have some clothes or something to wear, but it's kind of fun to do something that's tactile. I've been craving doing some more 3-dimensional things, but I never get the time. So I've just been painting him using leftover paint, but he's very cute. Anyway, so that's me, and I hope you get inspired. That's the main thing. I hope that the process videos and I guess my ramblings as well might inspire you to paint and be creative. Be your best creative self, because we're all creative, and I just feel like it's a wonderful thing to be able to put into the world, is all our creativity. If we could just pour it in, the world would be a better place. Anyway, God bless, and we'll see you next time. I hope you enjoy. Bye. So I'm just going to show my process, what I'm actually doing in this Jungian dream exploration, like with my artwork. So obviously I'm writing my dreams down, so I've got a dedicated art journal for that. Let's see if I can show you. So that's my dedicated dream journal. So I've just got dreams written down, and sometimes I'll put illustrations in. Once I write down the dreams, I can choose images that I want to amplify, which means that I'll either pull them out to do an artwork around them, or I'll do a dialogue with the dream image. So so that's important. That stays at my bedside each night, and I try and record using a dream journal. If I'm too tired and I can't manage to record, with a pen and paper, I will sometimes just write them in, my phone. I'll just record it into my phone using text to speech, speech to text. So these are just artworks that I'm doing for Dream Studio, and they've got all the prompts, so it's really just a motley sort of collection of materials that I've done, and they're not all of them are based solely around dreams. It's more just working with the unconscious and symbolism that comes up. So like I talked about the symbolism of the rabbit, so anything that sort of comes up. And we also use a tarot card as one of our prompts, which was amazing. I actually got the Rider-Waite deck of tarot cards, a big massive one. I'll show you. They're huge. The giant Rider-Waite tarot deck. See if I can get it out of this box. And I mean, to me, I don't know much about tarot. I know that a lot of people are interested in them at the moment, but wonderful symbolism if you're exploring symbolic and archetypal content. So anyway, so these are, a lot of them are very rough. This was based on a tarot card that I was very curious about, and it's just building on ideas. So this was the rabbit picture, and I'm trying to keep everything, as loose as I can. This was based on a tarot card. I think it's the Two of Cups. So it was the idea of like the young couple and the lion image in the middle, which I kind of have distorted it. And I've given the lion like a roar on mine. So a lot of it's just ideas that are developing. And so whether or not I develop these into paintings or put them in my actual book of, this is actually, I guess, my good copy book. It sounds really daggy, doesn't it? Eventually I want the images to come from here into here, if that makes sense. So this is just me developing ideas, and then I'll try and include them in this book as I go. But as is with the subconscious, what I've found is that, we really do want to make things cohesive and understandable to the logical mind, and it's not always possible to do that. So there really is a push and pull between the ego mind wanting to control everything, make it sort of simplified and reductionistic, and the unconscious wanting to explore and expand. So I can really feel that push-pull. So this was just an initial painting I did. I kind of wanted it to be almost like a guide figure, just on the outset, almost like giving a blessing. I haven't done very many pages so far. So this one I felt like I wanted to explore something that I often say when I don't really know in a dream. Like I often sort of write down, I'm in a strange place, and I really wanted to expand on that. What does that mean? And as it turns out, there's all sorts of strange places, but some of them are connected, some of them aren't. There's often a lot of a tropical motif in my dreams that come through. And this one was another one. So another dream that I had where the sense of place in the dream, like the setting, was quite powerful, and I wanted to really amplify that here. So we have a lot of characters that I have that feel very archetypal, because these two characters I were strangers. There were a lot of strangers in my dream, which often when there's people that you don't know that are not attached to anybody in particular in your waking life, it can be very powerfully symbolic. They can represent parts of you that are, you know, connected with your higher power, your higher self, and connected with God. So almost like angelic figures, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, is how I'd want to understand it. So the task here for me is to write down a little bit more about the dreams and explore some of the symbolism behind. There was a piece of fabric that was a magical piece of fabric, which is really interesting, and this little portal here and where that might lead. So there was a few different things that kind of happened. She's, you know, that's my dream ego, and that just emerged that I was colourless, same colour as the walls, and so that's the stance that I sort of was, I guess that's the persona that I occupied in this dream, which was interesting. And if I turn the page, so this is just how I've started another piece, and this was based on another dream. And that's how I sort of start these type of paintings, is just with the loose outlines, and then I just build on it. And it's just done with like acrylic paint. This one was a bit different. I think I just wanted to mess up the page because I could feel myself becoming a lot tighter, and I felt myself just using this book in quite a precious way, and I didn't want that. I wanted it to be more explorative. So as you can see, I haven't done that many pages, but I have got a lot of kind of content that I'm working through at the moment. And yeah, so that's that. So this is me just working on the front cover of my own dream book, or book of symbols, and I just wanted to come at it very loosely. It's with acrylic paint, and I had no preconceived notion of what I was going to paint. I think it just emerged as it went along. Lately, I've found myself really wanting to explore mark making, different mark making than what I'm used to. So you can see this is what I'm doing here, and it does emerge into a face. I'm not sure whether I had a reference. I think I may have had a very loose reference, but I built it and developed it just in a different way. I wanted to see what character emerged.
And later came the rain, dozing by the window pane. Had never felt so free. I dreamed that you were next to me. A broken doll, but how? You talk to me so softly now. It never felt so real. Can you feel?
I was really happy with this, and it's good because this is going to be a book where I'm sort of going to put a lot of my work as far as looking into the unconscious mind and dreams. So it felt really, really good. And really, I had the caveat, I guess, that I was going to be able to paint over it. Always with any pages that I've done, I always think, well, it doesn't really matter because I can always paint over it, and that's helped me a lot to stay loose.
Only yesterday.
We've been blessed with some really nice autumn days, and I went out to a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous cafe with a friend, and it just inspired me. The decor inspired me, lots and lots of photos, and also this mural was amazing. It's so gorgeous. Yeah, Alice in Wonderland, and the rabbit, and they all look a bit scary and a bit mad, but I love it. I love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. The water's really clear, and you can see some pelicans. I love pelicans. I've found some oil paint sticks at a local garage sale at our, it was actually at our bowling club, and they're fairly old and tacky, but I wanted to see how they worked and what they felt like working with. So I'm going to be using crayon resist technique, so using a bit of ink over the top of them. And as always, the aim of working with the unconscious in art is to really have an open-handed attitude towards it to see what emerges. It's very different to working observationally, and they both have their merit and their time, but for this particular project that I'm doing, I really need to try to sort of allow myself to see what emerges, even if I make a big mess, and I have made many a mess. The oil paint sticks seem to be blending a little bit underneath, so I'm just trying to move the ink around a little bit, and I'm going to leave it out in the sun to dry, see what happens. Decided to do more ink work, and this page already had a little bit of paint splodged on it, so I'm not feeling very precious at all about it. just wanting to build up layers at the moment. I'm really interested in building up layers, and doesn't matter if the original painting or original drawing underneath is completely disappeared. For me, it's very much just about the process. So I decided to explore the rabbit as a symbol. He's shown up in my dreams once, but also just in a serendipitous way. It's been one of those symbols that come across your path in different ways as well. Just like I found a calico rabbit at this garage sale, and yeah, just different ways I've seen it on that mural. Just he's just kind of showing up. So I thought I would just explore the symbol, and for some reason, even though they're like a night nocturnal animal, I put a big sunburst behind him, and yeah, I'm just going to build up the picture. I really enjoyed working with ink on like a scratchy stick, held loosely as an implement. I liked the marks that it gave me, but they sort of disappeared after it dried. So I'm working over it now with some paint and hoping that some of that mark making will come through at the end. But if not, it's just one of those things, you live and learn. So the first thing that stood out to me about the rabbit as a symbol was that they sleep, or they can sleep with their eyes open. And I thought this was really interesting just in the context of me trying to remember my dreams and write things down, and going on this quest, I guess, of my own, trying to understand the unconscious and using art to explore the unconscious. And so, yeah, that kind of feels like an apt metaphor for me. So sleeping with your eyes open, and allowing the dream world, to infiltrate your waking world as well, which perhaps that's why I've kind of included a sunburst behind this little rabbit here. But also, I didn't know that they've actually got a trickster quality, rabbits, in folklore, a lot of them. And it kind of makes sense because they're very quick. They kind of are seen as shapeshifters, which is really anything that sort of shapeshifts is so interesting to me. That sort of fits into whatever it needs to be, and it's there one minute and then it's gone the next. And I love that sort of idea. But on another level, I think that, you know, it occurred to me rabbits live in warrens under the earth, and that in itself is another nod to the unconscious, because the earth and the underground is associated with the underworld, and which is all things unconscious and out of our awareness. So yeah, he's a little bit of an interesting character, especially now looking at Alice in Wonderland as well. Like, it's even more kind of apt, I guess, that he led Alice down that rabbit hole, and he ushered her into the dreamland, even though in the tale it's sort of like he's unknowing and he's a little bit OCD and all over the place. But there's so much there, really. Like, when you think about it, that rabbit in Alice in Wonderland, like, he was going on about time. I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. And that's something really interesting. So I wonder what that's all about. I wonder if we're all a little bit tied to time, tied to the calendar, time, tied to having to do certain things in a certain time frame. And I wonder what it would be like to not have that sort of pressure of time. So yeah, there's a lot there with the rabbit. As I'm watching this, I'm just remembering the process as well. So I remember, because I love doing those little scratchy lines, I included them after the painting layer. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing that. I enjoyed doing sort of like that suggestion of this village, and for some reason power lines. I love the look of them. I feel like they lead your eye in and out of paintings somehow. And yeah, some reason I just really like them. I don't know. So I'm including some funky wobbly lines. I hope you enjoyed this little peek into all my projects that I'm working on at the moment, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Wishing you joy and many creative moments. Bye.